What's going on, everybody? How's YouTube doing today? How you doing, Twisted Vapors, Rebel Vapors, everybody else out there, my fellow drivers doing? James, the Vaping Trucker, coming at you today. Another little quick review. A little bit longer this time. Do a review, the Goon LP, the Low Pro. Pretty nifty little RDA. Pretty nifty. I've got it sweat up right now for Squonker. You know, I've got on my Therion bottom feeder, vaping on my lemon cheesecake. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, I've got it set up as a Squonker, so you can run it with the bottom feed or with the regular 510. 510 is gold plated. The Squonker is your regular stainless steel. So it's not bad. It's a bit of a pain to build on. So this video is going to be just a little bit longer because I'm going to go through, I'm going to show you what kind of hassles you go through with building it. Okay, so basically you got your Goon, take the build deck, flip it sideways, and put dual sets of clamps on it. And with it being the Low Pro, you know, you really got to work with the coils to get them so they're just right. So you get a solid connection. They're not too big, you don't want them too wide, and you don't want them shortening out on the cap or anything. But it's not bad. It is not bad at all. Like I said, I'm running it with my bottom feeder. It's been working out pretty good. I haven't really had any issues with it other than the hassles of building it. The nice thing with it is the original Goon parts do fit on this. The cap fits, the tip fits, the O-rings, they all work. Okay, so you can use your Goon stuff on the LP, but you cannot use everything from the LP on the original Goon. The drip tip now, the drip tip will fit. Okay, so your drip tips can go back and forth, but the caps cannot. The original cap from the original Goon will fit on the LP, but the LP will not fit on the original. So, gives you a couple extra options to go with it. The airflow on it, not bad. It's got dual airflow, which you do on one side, you do on both sides. Can't really do much of a single coil with it. It doesn't give you the options. But hey, it is what it is. Let's go down and take a look at it. I'm going to take it apart, clean it up, show you guys some of the hassles to go through putting a new build in it. Let's go have some fun. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video. I apologize for that. But hopefully you guys will understand some of it afterwards. So come on now. Step on out of your trucks. Go take a trip around the Goon LP. See you down below. Alright, here we go. Have the Goon LP low profile, or low pro, whatever you want to call it. Got the LP on there. Otherwise, it's just your basic black box. There's their logo, 528 custom, Blue Eye Goon. Not intended for use with nicotine. Their logo and the color, stainless. And that. So flip her open, and there you go. There's the Goon LP right there. I have this right now set up for squonk on my bottom feeder. Get to that in a second. It also comes with, if I can get them out here, there we go, an Ultima cap. Now the pretty interesting thing with this Ultima cap is you can take it apart here, and you got multiple different ways that you can actually use this. So there you go. Well, this whole thing is completely, you can use just the stainless AFC with the Ultima top. You can go with the complete Ultima, or you can go with the Ultima AFC and the stainless steel top. You know, pretty interesting. I really do like this Ultima top. Although I've been using it with just the stainless steel just because I'm using it on my Therion. The tip here does come off, and it's just press fitted in there. There's no O-ring or anything like that on there. Just press fitted on there. Same as the original Goon. See if I can do this the right way this time. And the original Goon tip does fit. And just in case you're wondering, obviously I have the original Goon. Yep, the tips are interchangeable. So, not too awful bad of a design. Here's the deck. Basically, they took your Goon deck and turned it sideways. Let's see if I can get this off of my Goon here get the cap off my Goon here real quick. Kind of show you. So everybody already knows the Goon deck. And I just got that top clamping system. Okay. The Goon LP, they took that clamping system and turned it sideways. So you got clamps on both sides. A bit of a pain to build, but we'll go through that here in a moment. Okay. Gold plated. You got 4 Phillips screws on one side. Same thing on the other. 2 roll rings down here. You got their little logo, Tiger and G logo there. And on this side, it does say LP. You know. And that. Kind of a shallow juice well here, but not too awful bad. I've got the squonker pin on here right now. This one also, once again, yep, you have that goofy little screw on the bottom. You do have to check it every so often because I have had mine come loose a couple of times. So, you know, you need to check it every so often to make sure it's tight. There's your 510. And that, just stainless steel. There's your bottom with the logo again. The low profile, stainless steel, 00951 is the serial number. And these are engraved. Nice engraving. You can feel the engraving. Okay, it's not burry, it's not going to cut you or anything, but you can definitely feel the engraving. Now, if you want to take the squonker pin out, it does come with a standard 510. Like I said, I've been using mine as a squonk on my Therion bottom feed. Little baggie of goodies here. You do get a couple of replacement O-rings here. There's one stuck in the bag. It comes with 4 O-rings. There it is. It comes with 4 O-rings. You get 8 of the screws to replace on the deck if you lose one. And it comes with a gold-plated 510. Just a standard gold-plated 510. Like I said, I've been using it in squonk and actually enjoying it, surprisingly. See if I can get this all back in the bag here. It's a small baggie, stick a lot of stuff in there. And it's just kind of crammed into the box right there. How lovely, huh? But if you want to change that out, it's just a flat head. It comes out real easy. And you stick your flathead in there. And yes, you can hear it squeaking. And then you can change it out. You know, keep an eye on this, on your one clamp here, because it will come out. We'll put the squonk pin back in there. Now just listen for a minute. Listen. See if he'll do it. Yep. It squeaks going in there. Now when you put it in, before you tighten it down, you don't want to over crank it and over tighten it and crack the peak insulator right here. But make sure your deck is even. And then just take and snug it up. You know, don't over tighten it, but snug it up. Okay? So that way you get a nice even across there. Okay? And then for your clamps here, you know, kind of a weird design, I would say. this thing is a pain to build. And I'll show you that here in a moment. Would have been nice if there was some kind of a spring or something inside of here, or just something that would kind of push these out when you loosen the screws. There we go. Got a set of coils here. Set of this is stainless steel, fuse Clapton. These are made for me by my buddy over at Rebel Vapor Lounge, just because I'm still having some difficulties with building coils, so he built these for me. They are a 3mm ID. That's just my preference. I like my 3mm ID. I don't know why, but anyhow. But these are made by Chris over at Rebel Vapor Lounge. You know, not too awful bad. You know, they're not the best right now. We'll pretty them up when we start putting this all together. But he was just nice and threw a couple together for me, since I still can't wrap very well. But anyhow, when you put this in here, get it lined up in there, get it where you want it at. The fun part is you got to bend them over. And you put them in there, bend them over. Obviously, that's still going to touch. So, straighten them back up. Take your side cutters or wire cutters or whatever you happen to be using and trim them down some. Got to make them custom fit. One. Alrighty. Trim a little bit off. Slide them back in. And obviously, as you can tell, I am having some issues here. My right hand still is not the greatest, unfortunately. Just tighten this down. Alright, and my hand's not going to cooperate very well. Hang on a second. My hand is not working right here. Bear with me a second here, y'all. Just bear with me a second. It's extremely difficult to do this looking through my camera. And my hand is cramping up on me. So, hang on. All I did right now is I just took this out and put it in front of me so I can see it. So it's sitting between me and the camera at the moment. That way it's a little bit easier for me to hopefully do this. Or at least try to do what I should say. Even though at the moment it's not working out very well in my favor. Pop it all loose again here. And yeah, I did the one thing that I shouldn't have done. I think I trimmed the coils a little bit too short. Yep, I trimmed them a little bit too short. Not a big deal. We have backup coils. We have backup coils. Hang on a second. Where did I put them at? Yep, I screwed that one up, didn't I? Whoopsies. So we have another set of coils here. These ones are a little bit smaller. I believe these ones are 2.5. Alrighty, I already know these are going to be too long. Yep, I trimmed those a little bit too short like a ding-dong. That's okay. I can still use them in one of my other devices, or one of my other Addies. Not a big deal there. Not a big deal there. Alright. Don't have this loose enough. Loosen up a little bit more. Obviously going to be too long. So very, very carefully, we'll snip some off. And try it again. Slide you in there. Bend you over. And that actually looks pretty close right there. Just tighten it down and see how we line up. Tighten down one side. Now remember, you don't want to over crank these down. You just want to get them snug. My dog over here snoring away. Alrighty. Slide this back in. Bend it down a bit there. Take the cap. You don't need the whole cap, just need this part here. Slide it on there. And we are touching. And you know, that's a bad thing. So, take it back apart. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit longer of a video. I apologize for that. Alright. Let's put the tool back in here. Straighten it back out. Trim off a little bit more. Try not to over trim, as I've already done once. Trim off a little bit. Try to trim them kind of even. Put it back in there. Tighten everything back down. Snug her all up again. And I like to go back and forth on it, because they don't, if you bend this, you don't come with, it doesn't come with another one. You know, so you want to make sure you get it in there as even as you can. You don't want to bend that little bar on there. You don't want to knock the camera around, which I seem to be doing quite a bit of. Turn you straight again. And my hand's not going to work. Okay, this is not working out very well in my favor. at all. Yep, not working out very well here, is it? I am having a lot of issues with this. I built this thing up a couple of different times, trying a couple different coils in it, and I always have the same issues over and over. It's always, and I've clipped plenty of my coils. I won't say plenty, but I've clipped several of them too short. Trying to get it so that it fits right. You know, I'm trying to keep close to a 0.2 ohm. I think these are going to come out about a 0.17, 0.15, somewhere in there. Let's see, get you bend them over. Alright, I'll put the cap on and see. There we go. Now we're not touching. I think that'll work like that. Now we got to do the other side. Same way. Yep, it's a pain to do this. And I keep popping out of camera view. Sorry about that. It's extremely difficult to do this looking at it through a camera and trying not to hit the camera. And I can't get, there we go. Yep, look at that. Yep, took those screws out too far. So we don't want to tip this and drop all that out, do we? But I think we might have to. Yep, we'll just dump it out. Not a big deal. Take one of the screws, put it back in there. And that's not the first time I've done that. I've done that a couple of times trying to build this thing. You know, it is a little bit of effort to put them back in. Or if you're kind of curious what it looks like in there. In case anybody's curious. It's not too difficult to actually get the screws started back in there. I'm sure everybody has done something like this at one time or another. There we go. Don't screw that one down too much. Alright, get you to pop back out now. Or at least try to here. There we go. Like I said, it's not the easiest to build on. It does take some work. It does take some practice. Go ahead and trim some of this one down. Trim just a little bit more off. Snug this side back up. Sorry about the amount of movement. It's not an easy one to build on, but it's doable. I'm not the best at it yet. I'm still trying to get it. Straighten it out. Fold her over. Try to fold her over at least. There we go. I think we got her now. There we go. Nice little build. Now let's see if we can make it look pretty. Grab my 30M squonker here. .09. Through and get this looking, see if we can get her looking pretty here. Still not quite glowing right. Make sure you got everything snugged up on her. One bad thing I hate about going through with this, you know, you got to go through, snug everything up. You got to lift the coil up, snug the screws underneath it, push the coil back down. Yeah, a bit of a pain. We're starting to get there. Still a bit hot. Let's see. Pulse her through, get her to heat back up. So running one little hot spot on that side. There we go, starting to get her prettied up. It is a bit of a pain to work with. Just a little bit of a pain, but it's doable. Pulse her back up. Not looking too bad. Double check the screws. Make sure we are still snug. I don't want to over crank her tight. Strip everything out. But make sure she is snug. Snug as a bug in a rug. Ain't that what they say? It's just a pain there. You know, you gotta move the coil up out of the way just to get to the two inside screws. Then you gotta take and bring the coil back down. So it's a lot of effort involved with using this one. There's a lot of effort involved. A lot of work. I'll see how we look. Ceramics. Now we're sitting 0.14. Pulse her back up. Now we're starting to look pretty good. Now we're looking pretty good. Yep, that looks pretty good. And 0.14 ohms. Alright, so let's let that cool down. clear some of this stuff up out of the way. I want to double check this. So I'm going to take and put the cap on there. So it shows 0.14. We are working. Take a look inside of there. Pulse her up. Make sure we are still heating nicely, as we are. Yep. Alright. And we're not shorting out on the cap. Although it's a little warm there because it's, you know, the low profile. Everything is real close together. So let that cool down. Let me grab my cotton here. What do I want to use? What do we want to use? I think we're going to do some native wicks. Yep, I think we'll use some native wicks for this. Why not? May as well get a pair of scissors out, because we're going to need those. Just some cotton here. Now the fun part. Try and pull off enough here. Let's see here. This may not be enough. This may be too thin of a piece here. Let's see. I'll move all this out the way for a minute. This might be too thin of a piece. Let's see here. That'll work. I can deal with that. What do you think? Yep, I can deal with that. And trim it down just a little bit past the deck. Just slightly past the deck. And of course, I don't want to cut on this side. There we go. Make sure fluff it out. You know, you don't want it kind of bunched up there. That's why I like native wicks. You know, it comes in a big old roll, but you know, it fluffs real nice. Take that, stuff that inside. Yep, that's doable. Peel off some more here. Just kind of roll it up. Nothing fancy. You know, just kind of roll it up. Work it into there. Make sure it's nice and snug. Not too tight, not too loose. Just kind of snugged up a little bit. Trim it up. Fluff out the ends. And just kind of roll it down underneath there. Nice, real nice, underneath the coil, sitting right on the deck. And there you go, it's wicked. And of course, I got my lemon cheesecake in here. A little bit still in there. I got that hooked up. And then we'll squonk away. Squeeze it down. You can kind of see the juice start popping in through there. Oh no, hang on a second, that strap's going to annoy me. Gotta make sure I hide that back in there. Sorry about that. So we're kind of let her just use what I got in here. Start getting her to wick up. Squonker, this actually works pretty nicely. Look at that. She's starting there. Look at that. Don't that look nice? Yeah, look at that. See that? Juices up real nice. Do a test fire. What am I on? Oh, I'm still down low. Turn the wattage up. What's my usual 66.6 watts. Look at that. Ain't that nice? See that? No issues. Now we'll take the cap, put the cap in there, line the coil up with it, and we fire. Look at that. Now the nice thing about this, okay, let me pull this cap off. Here's the Goon cap. The cap from the original Goon does fit. But if you take the Goon, it doesn't fit. The LP does not fit on the original Goon because it is a low pro, but the original Goon cap will fit on the LP. Isn't that nice? That is nice. Alright, let's wipe this off. Sorry it took so long to build, but there you go. Now you kind of got an idea of what you kind of got to go through. So there you go. That's the Goon LP from 528 Customs. Not a bad little device. You know, it's a pain to build on. It is a royal pain to build on. You know, it's a lot of effort. But once you get it built, it's nice. You know, the bottom feed option for a squonker is really nice. A regular 510 is it's nice. You know, a couple of options there. Coming with the Ultima cap, beautiful touch. Beautiful touch. You know, it's not big on clouds. I mean, it don't get me wrong, it does put the clouds out there, but it is a great flavor chaser. The flavor off this thing is phenomenal. You know, for all the hassles you got to go through to build it, the flavor makes up for it. The flavor definitely makes up for it. Yeah, so it's nice. Good flavor. Real good flavor. It does get hot. If you chain vape a lot, it does get hot. But remember, your coils are right there, right at the cap. You know, so you got to make sure you throw a build in here. Make sure you put that cap on there and make sure it's not touching. Okay, so you do got to use a smaller coil. So the ohms are probably going to be a little bit lower depending on what you normally use. Okay, I've got a 0.15 in here at the moment. You know, so if you chain vape it, it is going to get warm, but the flavor is good. The build quality of it is pretty good. The building to build coils on it is a pain. It's a hassle, but you deal with it, and the flavor, like I said, makes up for it. It does get hot. The coils are right there, so it does build up a lot of heat. So, you know, every so often you get a few hits off it, you put it down, you let it cool down, you use something else. I'm sure most people by now have multiple devices. So when it starts to heat up, put it down, let it cool off, you go back to it. But anyways, it's not a bad little device. You know, dual airflow. It is adjustable. You know, what you do on one side, obviously you do on the other. You know, it does spin pretty easy, but it doesn't move. It'll stay wherever you put it at, which is great. I picked that up at Ruckus Vape Shop. I'll put a link down below in the description for them. Real nice guys over there. Squids and them, real good group of guys. I'll put a link down below to Rebel Vapor Lounge where I normally shop at. I'll put some links down below, some places you can order it if you're interested. Let's see, price-wise, it's going to vary. Comes in 3 different colors. You got the stainless version, which runs 70, 80 bucks. You've got the black version, which is a little bit tighter fit. The O-rings work a little bit better. I think that's just because of the way it's painted. That one runs about 80 to 90 bucks. And then they've got the gold version, which looks more like a brass. But I've been seeing that one between 85 and 95. So you've got 3 different color options. All 3 work together. You know, the silver one's pretty good. The black one, everything sticks together just a little bit better. And then their gold one, which like I said, looks more like a brass, is about the same. Just costs a little bit more. But I'll put some links down below as soon as I get to a place where I've got good cell reception. Like I said, I do all this through my phone. So when I get to a place where I have a good cell, I can hook the laptop up and that, I'll throw some links and stuff down. I'll throw stuff down below for Casaa, Larry Faircloth, his fight against the FDA, Rebel Vapor Lounge, Ruckus Vapes, and all that fun stuff. Twisted Vapors group on Facebook and all that. So, hope you enjoy this video, because I've been enjoying the Goon LP. I'll catch y'all later. Y'all stay safe out there. Keep the shiny side up and the greasy side down. Most importantly, stay twisted. We'll catch you down the road sometime. Stay safe.